In the heart of a high-tech primate research facility lived a gorilla named Coco. Coco wasn't just any gorilla. He had a spark of curiosity that made him different. From the very beginning, he showed signs of unusual intelligence, mimicking gestures, responding to sounds, and eventually, using a touchscreen better than anyone expected. Researchers began including him in daily experiments designed to test cognition. At first, the games were simple. Tap the red square, get a treat. Match a sound to an image, get a bigger treat. It became routine. But as time went on, the tests evolved. The screens started displaying strange icons, symbols of digital currencies, mock trading tokens, and virtual assets. To Coco, they were just colorful shapes. But to the researchers, it was data. Data about choices, recognition, maybe even instinct. Coco was quick to pick a favorite. Among dozens of shifting symbols, he consistently tapped on one more than any other. A shiny golden circle with a bold letter B split by two vertical lines. It was Bitcoin. No one thought much of it at first. Maybe he liked the shape, maybe it stood out more than the others. Or maybe it was random. But day after day, test after test, Coco's choice remained the same. The gold B. It became a joke in the lab. Coco's got Bitcoin fever. They laughed, logged the data, handed him his treats. But beneath the laughter, something remarkable was happening. Without knowing it, Coco had developed a consistent pattern. A pattern that would soon cross from playful experiment into the world of real money. One day, a researcher who was always intrigued by Coco's unusual behavior decided to take things a step further. He had an idea. What if Coco's consistent choice of Bitcoin wasn't just random? What if it was something worth exploring in a more real-world context? So, in a somewhat playful mood, the researcher decided to mirror Coco's bet using real-world money. He didn't expect anything to come of it. It was more of a joke. Using a trading platform, he set up a small account and deposited $2,000. The idea was simple. He would copy Coco's choices, purchasing Bitcoin based on the exact same timing and pattern Coco used. It seemed like a ridiculous idea, but at the time, the whole thing felt more like a curious experiment than a serious investment. The bet was placed, $2,000 into Bitcoin, based entirely on the decisions of a gorilla who had no understanding of the real-world market. But sometimes, the world works in mysterious ways. Just as the researcher was finalizing the trade, a global financial event hit. A major news outlet broke a story about Bitcoin's sudden rise in value, triggering an unexpected surge in the market. The price of Bitcoin skyrocketed, fast. That $2,000 investment based on Coco's touchscreen taps wasn't sitting idle. It was growing. By the time the sun rose the next day, the value of the Bitcoin had multiplied, turning that small stake into over $1 million. The researcher couldn't believe it. The numbers on his screen were surreal. What started as a joke, an experiment driven by Coco's simple tapping on a touchscreen, had turned into a windfall. The gorilla's bet had paid off in a way no one had ever expected. The world was about to find out that not only did Coco have an eye for bananas, but maybe, just maybe, he had a nose for crypto too. As the news of Coco's unexpected crypto success spread, it wasn't just the researchers who were in disbelief. A small but growing community of crypto enthusiasts and YouTubers caught wind of this peculiar story. The experiment, which had started as a quirky research project, was now being talked about as the next big thing in the world of cryptocurrency. A popular YouTuber, known for making wild and unpredictable bets on the stock market, decided to dive into the phenomenon. This YouTuber, who had built a reputation on taking risks, was fascinated by the idea of a gorilla picking Bitcoin. The concept was too good to pass up. He wasn't just going to watch from the sidelines. He was going to take the gorilla's bet to the next level. In a highly publicized video, the YouTuber announced he would mirror Coco's crypto picks in real time. This time, however, it wasn't just a small experiment. He put in real science money, 10,000 high-keys of his own funds, directly into Bitcoin, following every move Coco had made on the touchscreen. It was a stunt, a gamble, and a way to capitalize on the viral buzz surrounding Coco's unexpected success. Within hours, the investment was showing incredible returns. Bitcoin, already on a strong upward trajectory, began to rise even faster. The global news that had fueled the surge now pushed it even further. The YouTuber's $10,000 investment grew exponentially as Coco's picks held up against the fast-moving market. By the end of the day, that $10,000 had ballooned to over 200,000 checks. It wasn't just the researcher who had benefited from the bet. Now, everyone following the story was seeing incredible returns. The video documenting the YouTuber's journey went viral almost instantly. Social media lit up with hashtags like Gorilla Crypto and Banana Fortune. Coco, the tech-savvy gorilla, had unintentionally turned into a crypto legend. His simple choice on a touchscreen had catapulted not only the researchers, but also anyone who had taken the gamble into the spotlight. It wasn't just about the money, it was about the chaos and the absurdity of it all. In a world where trends change faster than you can blink, this unexpected rise of the guerrilla investor felt like the perfect symbol of the unpredictability of the crypto world. As Coco's story continued to spread, it quickly transformed from a quirky lab experiment into a full-blown viral sensation. Social media exploded with posts, memes, and news articles. The hashtag #ICheerGorillaCrypto was everywhere. People were fascinated by the idea that a gorilla with no understanding of the financial world had made such an incredible crypto prediction. News outlets picked up the story with headlines that read, "Gorilla outperforms Wall Street with crypto bet," and "How a gorilla became a Bitcoin millionaire." The story was too good to resist. The press loved the dramatic twist, animal instincts versus human intellect, and it seemed like everyone had an opinion. Some people were skeptical, calling it a fluke. Others were more open-minded, wondering if perhaps there was something deeper at play, some form of intuition in animals that humans hadn't fully understood yet. But in the midst of all this, something strange happened. Animal rights groups, always sensitive to how animals are used in experiments, began to get involved. They raised questions about the ethics of allowing Coco to make financial decisions, even if it was all in the name of research. Were the researchers exploiting Coco for profit? Was it right to have Coco play such an indirect role in a market that could affect people's lives? Meanwhile, Coco's lab started receiving an overwhelming number of inquiries from people interested in his investment tips. His fans, yes, Coco had fans now, wanted more. Some even joked about giving Coco his own crypto coin, Banana Coin. The thought of an animal being treated like a financial guru was absurd, yet the public ate it up. The more Coco's story spread, the more people wanted a piece of the action. The researchers, though, were taken aback by the frenzy. They had started the experiment as a simple test of cognition, not expecting it to go viral. But now, they found themselves at the center of a global conversation about the role of animals in human-driven markets, and whether animals could possess a type of intuition that could be harnessed in unconventional ways. While Coco wasn't aware of the attention he was receiving, his every move had captured the public's imagination. What started as a harmless experiment was now a cultural phenomenon, a symbol of chaos in the crypto world, and a reminder that sometimes the most unpredictable things are the ones that make the biggest impact. As Coco's crypto journey continued to captivate the world, people began asking deeper questions. Could it really be that a gorilla, of all creatures, had tapped into something more than just luck? Could Coco's choices, made instinctively without any human knowledge of the market, be the product of some kind of untapped animal intuition? Was this a case of pure chance, or was there something more profound happening beneath the surface? The internet, of course, had a lot of theories. Some people argued that animals, like Coco, might have a heightened sense of perception, an ability to sense shifts in energy or patterns that humans just don't pick up on. The idea was almost mystical. Could Coco's consistent choice of Bitcoin have been a result of some form of sensory awareness? A kind of sixth sense that humans didn't understand? After all, we've seen animals perform remarkable feats, from predicting weather changes to sensing earthquakes before they happen. So, why not crypto? Others took a more skeptical approach. They insisted it was just an extraordinary coincidence, nothing more than a statistical anomaly. They pointed out that markets are volatile, and for every story of an unexpected win, there are countless others of people losing money. To them, the idea that a gorilla could somehow predict a market surge seemed ridiculous. It was just luck, a one-in-a-million chance. Yet there was no denying the phenomenon. Coco had tapped into something, whether it was luck, instinct, or something else entirely. The debate continued to rage on. Should we trust animal instincts in financial decisions? Could Coco's bet spark a new wave of animal-driven trading experiments? And if it worked once, could it work again? While the debates raged on, one thing became clear. Coco had become a symbol, not just of luck, but of the chaos that defined the crypto world. A world where the unpredictable reigned, where fortunes could be made or lost in the blink of an eye, and where sometimes the most unlikely players made the biggest moves. As for Coco, well, he just kept on tapping away, blissfully unaware of the financial empire his instinct had built. And maybe that's what made this story so fascinating, because in the world of crypto, sometimes it's the most unexpected, the most chaotic, that make all the difference. As the dust settled and the crypto world began to process the bizarre events surrounding Coco's Bitcoin bet, one question remained. What did this mean for the future? Could a gorilla be the key to a new wave of financial success? Or was this just a one-off moment of chaos in a world built on unpredictability? Crypto enthusiasts and traders around the globe couldn't stop talking about Coco. For some, he had become an icon, a symbol of the unplanned and often uncontrollable nature of the market. If a gorilla could turn a small investment into millions just by tapping a touchscreen, what did that say about the role of human decision-making in crypto trading? Could we really trust algorithms, graphs, and market predictions when the most chaotic, random moments could lead to massive success? Meanwhile, the world of finance began to watch Coco's story closely. Some financial experts laughed it off as an outlier, an anomaly that shouldn't be repeated. But others, perhaps with a little more curiosity, started to wonder if there was something they could learn from the way Coco's actions defied traditional financial wisdom. Could it be that the future of investing wasn't just about carefully calculated risks and statistical analysis? Maybe, just maybe, there was room for a little unpredictability, something instinctive and wild, among the cold, calculated numbers. The thought of incorporating randomness and chaos into market strategies began to take hold in small pockets of the investment community. Some even began experimenting with wild trading strategies inspired by Coco, suggesting that a blend of traditional analysis and unpredictable, gut-driven decisions might just be the way forward. It seemed like everyone wanted to know, could Coco repeat his success? Would he choose the right coins again? Would his choices continue to rise? Or was this all just a stroke of luck? While researchers and investors pondered these questions, Coco just kept living his life. He didn't care about the hype, the debates, or the millions of dollars. He didn't need to. Coco had already achieved something most people could only dream of. He had unknowingly become a legend. In the end, whether you believe in his choice or not, Coco's story served as a reminder of the wild unpredictability that defines the world of cryptocurrency, and the chaos that often leads to the biggest rewards. The markets, much like the jungle, are full of surprises, and sometimes, just sometimes, it's the most unlikely creatures that make all the difference.